like we always do at this time, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we do it. It's my birthday weekend, so I chilled out, like I relaxed. My shit fell on the weekday, so I just said I'm gonna take the weekday, the weekday. I had so much fun. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Ain't no more party in me. Shouts out to everybody who granted me the happy birthday wishes. I definitely appreciate you all. There's so many of y'all, I can't say all the names. But y'all know how we do it. It's time to get back to work, man. It's time to get back to work. Now we done took our feet to our people next, so now they breathing a little bit heavy and shit like that. Oh, don't worry, oxygen will be low again. Now, what we got here, I'm showing y'all all the key players in the beef with 50 Cent, T.I., Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, McGriff, you name it. One man took on the whole industry. One man. Now here he's trying to talk about how when um McGriff told him to leave Ja Rule them alone, he did everything but that, and then turned around when he got shot and hurt. He turned around and got McGriff allegedly, because there's no I don't know if it's on paper. I know McGriff can't say his name. Can't say nothing about this guy. He can't mention him. So then if you never heard McGriff say, "Oh, 50 Cent said that," or Curtis said this, he can't say his name. And Bimmy will confirm that. If y'all know who Bimmy is, go look up Bimmy. Bimmy will confirm that. But let's get into what 50 Cent said.
Words are exchanged. In blows thrown as the two square off in Atlanta.
The whole 50 thing was serious. It was rap shit. And, you know, I'm not a rapper. I'm not involved in that type of life. I mean, you know, men say something, they stick to their word. That's what I'm used to.
My issues with Preem. He said, leave him alone because he's my fool. Yeah. And when I keep having friction with him, he goes, let's kill this load.
The 50 thing.
And you heard him say, my friction was with Preem. Preem wasn't beefing with you. Preem was trying to put people on, bro.
That's what generated all the attention from the feds, because, you know, this guy was on the verge of being the biggest rapper there was, and the feds was like, let's look into this. That brought him out of scrutiny.
When did I start to investigate Kenneth McGriff? In about 2000, I became aware that Kenneth McGriff was involved in an infamous street beef with 50 Cent, and I decided to make a case out of it.
Hip-hop cops. This doesn't even seem legal, but it's legal and it still exists. I think it was a time when people were like, wait a minute, these guys are inside the homes of middle America, and people still had a stigma of what rap was. I remember talking to Preem, I don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you, it's different. You can't do nothing right here. Like, you're gonna be on the front page of the paper. It's not like before. Like, you know, we were having fights in the club and nothing get reported, nothing happened. I'm talking about like brawls. Now it's like, if I had something in the club, that drink is on the front page of the paper.
Before he was tried, he had originally been represented by Bob Simmels and me before he was arrested on this case. And we used to hear from the FBI that there was a hit on Ken and that somebody was gunning for him and that he needed to watch his back and maybe he should, you know, go into witness protection. But he just said, you know, I'm going to live my life.
In their minds, they believe that I should never have been on the streets from the beginning. Like, they thought that I should have had a life sentence in the 80s when everybody else got convicted. But I was trying to talk about Crime Partners, the movie.
He was driven by making this film.
A lot of people was like, well, what you know, what movie you gonna do? That was everybody's thing. But those are the things that drive Preem. He always say, whenever they say I can't do it, they're gonna turn around and I'll be walking on water. And he's just a guy that always wants to be great. He actually pursued that dream and went to LA and secured the rights to Donald Goins books, and he came back.
Now, and I'm hearing through the grapevine that 50 Cent took Jim Jones podcast, that building, that setup, and gave it to Uncle Murder and Tony Yayo. That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. I'm not sure how true that is, but this is the type of dude 50 is. Very calculated, very, very petty, and he don't believe in letting shit slide. When it's up, it's just up. That's how 50 Cent roll. So now, when Tupac was running around screaming, thug life, baby, all New Jacks to the game must know he's going to get rich. He's going to jail. He's going to die. The crew leader, you are responsible for legal, financial payments, commitments to the crew members. Your word must be your bond. And this was the code of thug life. This was the code of thug life. Your word must be your bond. Cool leaders and posses should select a diplomat and should work ways to settle disputes in unity. And is that and see that's what 50 Cent wasn't willing to do. Like for instance, you had Ja Rule. I mean, you had fucking Jay-Z and Irv Gotti beefing before. McGriff steps in and said, "Hey, what's going on here, bro? I need you brothers to chill. What's going on? Listen to him. Listen. Okay, this how we gonna settle this. Your brother needs and step aside. Let the man sit there and they talk like grown men. Shake hands. That beef is over. Life. No young man was killed out in the streets from their beefs because McGriff knew how to get in there and settle shit. Now when it came down to the beef with Ja Rule and 50 Cent, when McGriff came in and told 50, hey, chill out, like he would do anybody else that was his friend or that was down with what he was down with. When he told him to chill, everybody just chill because they knew he wasn't telling them from a bad place. 50 Cent always went against McGriff, and he refused to stop the beef, even though McGriff told him, I'm working with these young men. We starting a legitimate record label. Ja Rule done fucking acted one of my movies, bro. This is all the reasons why motherfucking 50 Cent was jealous and was hating way back in. And if Tupac was alive, he won't be friends with 50 Cent at all. He wouldn't even talk to 50 Cent. He wouldn't do no record. And that's why he says, I want them to love me like they love Pac. Nah, ain't nobody gonna ever love you like they love Pac, nigga. Nobody respect you. And 50 do got some good music out there. I would never ever discredit him because of my dislikes of his taste of actions, choices of actions and all that. No. He got some good music out there. But some of the shit he did is foul. And just like I'm putting y'all out with this code, look who started Thug Life.
The code was a code of the Thug Life. You always saw on Tupac's tattooed stomach, it said Thug Life. And so the code is an entity to bring an order to the young people who were involved in street life. Tupac, his stepfather, Mutulu Shakur, is who brought it to me and, also brought it to Supreme and other folks. Mutulu is a shining light, and he was a great mentor to Supreme. And once they both were locked up in the same jail, they worked even closer together to make sure that they put the code into effect in the jail because we know that a lot that happens in the street comes from the jail. Tupac and Supreme wanted to help these people have a better life, wanted to help these people rise above the...
So Tupac was down with Supreme too. And so was his stepfather, Mutulu. You feel what I'm saying? They the ones who came up with Thug Life. Tupac was one of the voices who came out with it, but he shouldn't have been the only person. They tried to make it like Thug Life was just a gang. No, it wasn't. Now you see where it came from, right?
The barriers that are blocking them from equity or having an even playing field so that they can become successful. And so through that, they build a bond and a relationship and work together to do something with their reputation and their name so that they can make a difference.
One of the last interviews Tupac did, he said that I respect certain niggas in New York. Even though I'm from New York, I still respect Supreme from Queens. Talk about me.
And so they sat down and met in my living room, right? And so it was Tupac, it was Stretch, it was Chaz from Black Hand Entertainment, and several other people. And we came up with how we can institute it in Southeast Queens and also help Tupac spread it around the nation.
My vision was always from the start, exiting the life. It's not supposed to be a lifetime career. So I wanted to start legitimate businesses that would sustain us.
I didn't know the Supreme in the 80s that was making $250,000 a day. I knew the Supreme that did a 10, 12-year bid, came home, and had dreams and aspirations of making a movie. That's the Supreme I knew.
As you see.
I met Irv through my man, BJ.
All the people who hate it.
I first met Preem on the video set of Cash Money Click, Get the Fortune. I shot it on God Raw while I was shooting. BJ, Preem's man, and now my man, walked up to me and said, hey, we want to meet Preem.
Preem had a barbershop. And so Irv came with a young Ja Rule and Cash Money Click to shoot a video in the shop. When Irv was on the dolly shooting the video, I said, yo, Preem want to meet you, he want to talk to you.
So when I met him, he was letting me know he has an idea to shoot a movie using Donald Goines novels. First thing he asked me, yo, you could shoot a movie. I can't tell you I could shoot a movie. But we exchanged numbers. The friendship started right there.
Preem took a real liking to Irv, and they became friends.
We used to hang out, we used to kick it and shit. So it'd be just me and the DJ riding around.
And just how a friendship develops. You meet somebody, take a liking to them, you hang out.
And you wonder why 50 Cent hated Irv. And I'm going to say this again. And you wonder why 50 Cent, I had to sneeze. You wonder why 50 Cent hated Irv so much, right? Because Irv was down with Supreme and trying to make a change. You know what I'm saying? They put a lot of young brothers on, too. If you think about Irv Gotti and the Murder Inc., put a lot of young men and ladies on. A lot of them. More than what 50 did. Think about it. More than what 50 did. Did you think about that?
That's all it was.
And we were watching this young guy who also had a dream that was chasing it.
I had no deal with Def Jam. I was at Blunt TVT and I was working CMC and Mike Geronimo. And then shortly after that, Jay-Z asked me for help and I put all my energy into Rockefeller. Preem was pivotal with a lot of things with me and Jay-Z and Rockefeller. Preem had a big part in picking Ain't No Nigga as the single. Me, Preem, and BJ, we used to ride around listening to Jay-Z, but he loved Ain't No Nigga. Weapons concealed, what the fuck y'all feel? If y'all niggas play sick, we could all get ill. So with us listening to Ain't No Nigga, I went to Jay and I was like, yo, this is the single.
I did convey how strongly I felt for the song. I always knew Jay was the one. Plus, I love Foxy. It was great chemistry. So I conveyed strongly how I thought it was a hit.
And this is another reason. See, 50 Cent always wanted Supreme's approval. And when he see that Supreme was putting his attention in more, because they never looked at 50 as a rapper. Nobody never really looked at him at this time as a rapper. They just put their money into Jay-Z, Ja Rule, DMX, shit like that. He was jealous the whole time.
They made it their single, and it was a hit.
Rest is history. Lyor, he hired me as an A&R. So now I'm working for Def Jam. And they signed Jay and Rockefeller, which was part of what I was doing. I signed DMX and I signed Ja. And after we went on the killing spree with me, A&R, and Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule, I got a label deal. And now I have a joint venture with Def Jam and Murder Inc.
Irvin was doing a lot. They was in the studio, they was at the label, I mean, he was putting out hits, man. These dudes, they were like a machine.
I had a lot of money. He would be right here with me, running around. We would be living life, having fun.
We were having a great time.
If it was time to travel, Irv would call me and say, hey, man, come up to Miami with us, come to Vegas with us. And, you know, I would go as one of the people in the entourage.
I'm a nigga Preem in the house. What up, nigga? You know, whole brother and family in this motherfucker.
Very smart, intelligent man. Preem was a good man. I learned a lot from him. A lot of gems, you know, on how to be a good man, on how to be a stand-up individual. I'm here to speak to those things because...
And once again, you wonder why 50 hated Ja so much. Because motherfucking Preem was motherfucking showing Ja love. Because, you know, it ain't that he probably was trying to show him more love than he was showing 50. Ja just probably was sucking it in and a good listener. Any teacher loves a good listener. Believe that. I know for a fact.
That's the Preem I know. That's how I, you know, met him.
You know, it's like the legend or the myth. Because when you don't know someone, you hear all the stories. And it was like the guy was so calm and smooth and smart, sharp. Because I guess we're from Holliston, we are basically was mortal enemies with Southside at that time. So they always thought of he's extorting. All my dudes from Hollis thought, like, what are you doing with this guy? He's gonna be taking advantage of you or something. It was never that. It was more of the big homie looking out. Hey, stay away from these guys.
My first hurdle bid, I had built relationships. So I had relationships with dudes in California, dudes in Miami, dudes in Texas, dudes in Atlanta. So if they was going to one of those places, I would call one of my dudes and like, listen, you know, this is the contact person. If, you know, if there's any problems or if you need to show you around. So they would never be out there in the wilderness. One of my people would be able to look out for.
The feds, what they figured was, if this guy is cool with this guy, then this guy must be extorting this guy, or this guy must be laundering money through this guy.
And all these tips came in after 50 Cent got shot, y'all. I remind you. All these tips came in after 50 Cent got shot.
There must be some criminal element there, which it wasn't. We just had a friendship.
You know, Preem was, when you look at all of his peers and all of the people that was selling drugs and living that life in the 80s, they're all dead or in jail. So Preem trying to make this transition, and you know, he's fucking around with a guy like me who's totally legitimate. Like, I don't like drug dealing. People like drug. That shit is like ancient history. There's too many ways to get legitimate money. I'm selling drugs for. I make 100 times more doing what I'm doing. All legitimate.
When I realized how sweet the game was, when I first did my first deal for Crime Partners, and I was in a meeting with Neil Cohen, and the first deal he was going to give us an advance
So he was fucking with the devil the whole time. And I wonder why he in jail. Leon Cohen wanted that money for $2 million. Leon wanted that money.
For $2 million, and we were going to do the soundtrack for Crime Partners.
It was his dream, so he was constantly doing whatever he can to try and get that off. I was right there next to him. I helped with the soundtracks, because if you look at the soundtracks, he had J, X, and Ja. I remember Leo was hesitant on it, and I'm like, Leo, it's Supreme, we giving it to him. How's he gonna have a soundtrack with 3 of the biggest artists in Def Jam?
Now think about this. Irv Gotti said, I make more money than a drug dealer. But at this time, 50 Cent was a fucking drug runner. So he putting these niggas in position to make more money than 50. How you think 50 Cent back looking? You gonna get yours, B? You gonna get yours, B? Mm-hmm.
Doesn't micromanage it, so that's how I got him the deal for $1 million.
Look, everybody who he don't like, I just never heard him say nothing about DMX. But think about this. How you think DMX felt about 50 Cent and Hard? Did you ever see DMX and DMX and 50 Cent do a song together? I never saw that shit a day in my life. And now I see why. They was all down with the man, the Supreme.
He was never content to just be stagnant. You know, he wasn't the guy from the 80s, which was a kingpin. He wasn't that guy. He came and evolved, and you see it from his time in jail. And when he comes home, you can see he's on a different path. He's on a different mindset. He was just like any other entrepreneur that we deal with.
Preem is a gentleman. Preem never started no beefs. Preem was always the guy to settle the beefs, make everything peaceful. There was a time Jay,
except for with a 50 Cent beef with Ja Rule. 50 Cent refused to stop and laughed about it. Nigga told me to stop. Hell nah, I don't give a fuck. That's his money. So he was trying to sabotage that man's businesses. Okay.
didn't do the video for a Holla Holla remix. I was really mad at that. Preem kind of intervened between the two of us.
Irv and Jay was real cool, but Jay's my brother and friend as well. So I would step in anytime I saw or was aware of friction.
You know, he would do that a lot with me and Jay. When he was at odds over something, Preem would definitely come in and talk to us and make everything good.
I wouldn't say I would admit anything between them. I don't like small matters. I'm a big matters guy. If the matter is trivial, like, what are we even talking about here?
So my next question, why did 50 Cent start attacking you in his songs as well as attacking Murder Inc?
Man, I have to decline to answer that because there's nothing to gain from talk, and I don't do that. So I have to decline to answer that question right there.
Remember I told you he won't never talk about him? Let him come out of jail. I bet you we hear the real story of what happened to Irv, Murder Inc., and McGriff. I guarantee we hear the... He even said that Bimmy is a rat. Said, you been a rat for 30 years, Bimmy. God damn it. God damn it.
This just in, rapper 50 Cent was shot 9 times in Queens earlier today.
In April 2000, 50 Cent was shot 9 times with a 9mm handgun as he left his grandmother's house in Queens.
That caused a lot of legal problems for me, even though I was never charged with that.
There's speculation that the hit was ordered by Murder Inc. affiliate Kenneth Supreme McGriff.
Fueled by a growing public rap beef between 50 Cent and Murder Inc.'s flagship artist, Ja Rule.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja Rule.
A dude that I knew came home from jail.
Now, remember I told you, this is how the beef started. Not to mention, after they got robbed, 50 Cent would not stop fucking with Ja Rule, knowing that McGriff was mentoring him, showing him about the business. Jealousy, man. Now, I can get into what Ja Rule said, but we know what 50 Cent
Came to see me. He pulls out the burn arm. You got the gun out here. Take that. Hold on to that, nigga. I puts in a call to Black Just and Preem, like, because that's their little nigga too. Preem was like, yo, let me handle this. You know what I'm saying? 15, 20 minutes later, he's like, I got your chain, nigga. Right. And that was that.
He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him.
And now I remind you, now deep down inside, I heard Preem is the one who got them to go take Ja chain. That's why he got the chain back so fast, because the dude was sitting right there. Soon as Ja Rule called, yo, you know your man? Nigga, the nigga did it because Preem told him to. Don't think that he was a god. And that was that. He got my chain back. That was that. And you had to pay Preem. Now you owe Preem. Now you owe Preem a favor. Okay. All the things that 50 Cent reported
He
to the police,
misinterpreted
allegedly.
the conversation because he see me laughing and us talking, but he didn't know I grew up with the guy.
Words are exchanged in
Like they said, that's the part I was showing you about. They said that 50 Cent and Ja, how they got into the fight in Atlanta. But like I said, I heard that Preem is the one who ordered the setup to get Ja Rule touched. That's what I heard. Word up. Real spill. That's what I heard. Now, Irv Gotti said out his own mouth that when they went down for the money laundering case, that, he said that they tied up so much of his money when he was done that he owed them $2 million. He owed it $2 million. They did that so he won't be able to help McGriff. And watch, 50 Cent gonna sit right here, the mastermind of it, and admit everything Irv Gotti said without admitting what he said.
They're afraid. Look, when the feds come in the indictment, they said that they beat the case. Yeah. It beat no case. You never did nothing.
Right.
You never did nothing. They put him in the indictment because when you gave him $50,000, they said you was money laundering. You gave him $50,000 because you. And when I keep having friction with them, he goes, "Let's kill this little." Man, tell you he beat the case, and he said by the time he was done with his case, he owed $2 million. How did you beat? How did you win? You never did nothing. I bring him to trial with a legal aid attorney. A legal aid attorney had never been to trial because they couldn't help. There was no financial help or support for him because of that. So
hey, you heard what he said. That there was no financial help. Watch this. Now watch. Irv gonna say the same exact shit.
New York offices of the hip-hop record company Murder Inc. to unearth a link between Murder Inc. CEO Irv Gotti and Kenneth McGriff.
We was ignorant in the sense of not really realizing the full cloud that would be over us because of the relationship with Supreme. It was 3 years of investigation. When they have it out for you, they have it out for you. The feds used to come to my apartment. They come damn near every day, 8 o'clock in the morning. I used to open the door, go back to bed, and they would sit in my living room waiting for me to wake up. And I would come in and I'm like, y'all still here? And then they would just talk about Supreme. They was like, he's not getting away. I'm like, didn't that man go to jail and do 12 years before he came home? Like, didn't all his friends basically get killed or locked up themselves? Like, who is he out here with now? Here he is with me and my brother, and all we do is make hit records.
Chris and Irv Gotti were indicted for money laundering. They thought Murder Inc. was all about murder, and they thought that Kenny was intimately involved with Irv and Chris Gotti in that enterprise.
The murders he was charged with is completely wrong. He was about business and building, and you cannot have murders and build. If anyone knows Supreme, he wasn't that. He was the guy that fixed everything.
This was not some nefarious drug operation or drug beef. This was about some guy that was trying to get a car and that I was trying to help him. And they took that and they changed the whole narrative of that story and made it into this criminal enterprise that was running around selling massive amounts of drugs and killing people. It was all the narrative created by William Court.
2 prosecutors involved in the case, neither of whom knew anything about anything. Carolyn Picorni, she was convinced that the lyrics on the music from Ja Rule and others was factual rather than artistic. And so she chose to treat it as literal. They thought that everybody was out to kill everybody else. They thought Murder Inc. was all about murder.
The trial was all bullshit. They put 3 blatant, lying, bitch-ass niggas who got caught for something else. They got their sentences reduced for saying something on me and Preem.
They had a whole lot of guys that I never met, guys I didn't know that just didn't understand and just read a script.
The star witness in the money laundering case was a guy named Donnell Nichols, who was actually homeless. Where our offices was, people used to hang around outside the building and stuff like that.
Darnell Nichols. This guy said that my nickname was Griff, that everybody in the office used to call me Griff. And that one time, I brought a bag full of money up to Murder Inc. And I accidentally confused his bag with my bag, and he left with the wrong bag. And I ran downstairs and said, hey man, you got the wrong bag, look at that bag. It never happened.
We had private investigators on the feds. We found out all their lies, but the judge wouldn't let us get it in. He said, I'm not.
But why ain't they never tell him that the story was coming from 50 Cent? 50 Cent, the one who said he was a drug dealer when they shot him.
Not putting a federal agent on the stand. We're not dealing with a fair system here, man.
It was so crazy. They had such a hard on to fuck me and Preem, but that they just ran with the lie.
Philip Dalu Banks, he testified in the Murder Inc. trial. Dalu told the feds that I used to go out of town and bring back bags of drug money and give it to Irv. And that's how Irv started Murder Inc.
There ain't nothing for them to do a little research. How did Irv get this record deal? Well, Irv did Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule, and we gave him a record label. We gave him $5 million. It's all right there. It's factual. So they knew, but it didn't stop them from perpetuating with the lie just to put Preem in jail.
We had forensic accountants review every tape. Irv gave me approximately $250,000. Approximately $175 of that was for the movie rights, for the movie Crime Partners. Before I went to prison, he bought me a $75,000 Range Rover because he wanted this man to enjoy himself before he went to jail.
He was the seed money for Murder Inc. No, Leo was. Def Jam was.
There was no money laundering. All of that was legal. And that was the entire case against us. Straight BS.
50 Cent.
Interview, scene one, take one.
At the trial of Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti's lawyer asked me, would you lie to get out of this situation that you're in? I said, without question.
This was the government's star witness that made the fucking case against Irv Gotti. Philip Dalu Banks.
I said I would lie on every motherfucker in this courtroom and everybody outside the joint. The government guided me. I knew how to answer them. I either answer them to their satisfaction or we have to recess and, they have to explain to me, like, you can't say that. You got to say this.
My whole view on the judicial system in the court changed drastically after that. Before that, I was like, they can't say things that's not true. I was naive. They would put anybody on the stand just to corroborate this story.
A lot of money on this trial. And you look closely at the trial, you'll see tremendous waste of resources it was. Poverty and ignorance in our community is more important than convicting their poets.
I was representing Kenny at the same time I was representing Murder Inc. The government made an argument that I should not be Kenny's attorney because I had represented Murder Inc. and so that there was a conflict of interest. So they asked the judge to have me recused from the case.
The late, incredibly great Jerry Shargell.
It's been a long day making our arguments, stand on what we said in the courtroom.
Was representing Chris.
Everybody who helped them, either they dead or something bad happened to them. The lawyers, fucking, you name it. Niggas was Heavy D.
What do you think's gonna happen tomorrow?
We're gonna win.
And Jerry Lefcourt was
Irv Gotti.
Representing Irv.
We deserve to win.
And the two Jerrys, you couldn't do better in the trial team.
Than $0 to jeopardize it in doing something stupid. I could get my life back. Not only did they take your life, but they took your livelihood.
I was elated, man. I was very happy they got the justice they deserve. They lost everything fighting that lie. And they still stood tall.
I beat my case because I had Shargell and Lefcourt. I had two real boys. My lawyer fees was like $2 million. I couldn't afford them for Preem.
Nobody was standing up for Kenny financially.
They took all my money, freezing accounts, all types of wicked shit they did to me. Now they know if I'm flush with cash, Preem's gonna get a great lawyer.
In order to beat the government, you have to spend money to prepare for the government. When they take that away from you, you find a very hard time winning.
Listen, what did 50 Cent say? Oh yeah, they was out of cash, so they couldn't help Supreme. So, it is what it is, y'all. The beef goes back far, man. And all these people, Def Jam, all that, look who T.I. was signed with. T.I. said, listen to all these people talk about 50 Cent. That's why he never liked them from the day that they jumped on stage when they was up there performing Swagger Like Us. T.I. never dug them. Because how they say, when somebody talking bad about you behind your back, when certain people meet you, they don't like you. Because people already done said bad shit about you. That was the case. It's your boy Kyle Saddam. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to everybody who rock with the channel. Make sure y'all take time out to share the video. Make sure you take time out to watch the video. And that's why I've been falling back a little bit because I want my videos to get a certain level before I go drop another one. So if they ain't reaching a stack, it ain't worth me keep on dropping the next video and the next video and the next video. I need support. Support me, I support you. You know how we do. Thank you to everybody who support the channel, man, the real ones. Thank you to everybody who share the videos for me. Thank you to all my moderators. And thank you to every sub I have, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Without you, it'd be no me. Without me, you won't be hearing my voice. I salute you. I salute you. I hate to shoot you, man. You know how we do it. This your boy Kyle Saddam. I'm about this. Peace.